Hey guys, and welcome back to another daily Wimbledon podcast brought to you by Fazan and Liam, and of course, sponsored and in partnership with Nick Rivets Sport for all your racket needs. Check out the online demo service. The link to the website is in the description of this video or podcast, whatever you're listening on. It's been a jam-packed day. I think it's day 5.
Yes.
I need to remember.
Day 5, it goes very quick.
Exactly. What do you think? I mean, there's been a lot going on, but not too many upsets today.
Today's been, I think, even asking around the grounds, even to the staff here and just other journalists and stuff, it's been one of those days which was supposed to go the way it's gone. Yeah. It's been the first day in that sense. Obviously, you have had some upsets with the likes of Naomi Osaka losing to Pavlyuchenkova, or Fonseca losing to Nico Jarry, but you can't really call that an upset because Jarry is a very experienced player.
The only other one I think is Madison Keys, right? She's 16. Exactly. She didn't do any press, so probably why we're not remembering her. I mean, Svitolina, I don't know. I mean, 14th seed, 24th seed, Mertens beat her. I don't think that is,
we're not at the stages anymore where the number 270 in the world is beating the number 15 in the world.
100%.
So it's been a good day in that sense because people have gotten what they wanted to get out of the day.
Yeah.
We've had a fair amount of interviews today. Yeah. We've had Taylor Fritz, Carlos Alcaraz. We're waiting now on Arina Sabalenka and Emma Raducanu because their match has just finished. We'll talk about that one in a second. I'll pass over to Faizan for that one because he was there and he enjoyed that match and the ups and the downs of it. You've had, we interviewed Naomi Osaka. She was very down on herself. She was very, I wouldn't say negative Nelly, but just...
Yeah. Well, she said it though, didn't she? She said I'm really negative.
No, I got into the press conference a little late because I got the message that she was going to be in press 2 minutes before she went into the room. So I had to run from the other side of the grounds. And when I got in, I managed to get a question and I said, do you take any positives from the week and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, I'm just going to be negative today. It's just so that wasn't it. Ben Shelton was good because obviously he had to come back and play a really, really, really tough 70-second match.
Yeah, super long.
Super long. I mean, I've never seen such a strenuous day for a player.
I think it's the shortest session they said in Wimbledon history. Well, it's not.
No,
they lied. Okay,
I overheard someone talking about that. Okay. And actually, it was back maybe 12, 13 years ago, a women's singles match, first round, 7 seconds.
Okay, so they must have come back.
They came back to do match points for some reason.
Oh my gosh.
And the player who was serving to save match point.
Okay.
Double faulted.
Oh man, I need to find out the name of that match. That's crazy.
I didn't get the names, but that's what I heard.
Because I remember Shelton was saying, because if it was him, he was saying, Isner is the longest match ever at Wimbledon, and I'll be the shortest, and then he went USA.
Maybe the shortest men's match. The shortest men's match, if we put it in that sense.
But he was, I thought in the presser, I don't know about you, I was quite surprised about how technical he was at times. Yeah. I thought he gave some really good, I mean, for someone like me, and I'm assuming you as well, we're a bit nerdy in our tennis, we want to kind of hear those little technical and more analytical type answers, and obviously they won't always give it because a lot of the press, they don't really want that. But he seems like someone who actually would give that, and I don't remember necessarily hearing that from last year, so that was really interesting to hear, and I think he gave you a really good answer as well. He
was very sincere. I mean, I asked him, I'm not going to spoil it for you because please check out the content on the channel and on the Instagram and TikTok. But basically, he was saying you can't really take your mind off the match, even if you have only one game left, and you're as good of a server as Ben is. You can't really take your mind off of it, and it 100%. Sort of stresses you out a little bit. We watched a little bit of some matches today.
Yes.
I watched the Carlos Alcaraz Jan Struff match. Full match. You watched the Arina Sabalenka Emma Raducanu match partially.
Second set,
Second set.
And also the second set of, set and a half of Osaka and Pavlyuchenkova.
Yes. How did you find both of those matches?
Yes, I mean, Osaka and Pavlyuchenkova, watched that first. I mean, I actually really enjoyed Court 2. I know you call it the tanning stadium.
Yes, it's Sun Central.
It is Sun Central, and I actually really enjoy it. The atmosphere is a bit more quiet, you could say, and a bit more intimate, which is great. Osaka was playing really well when I was watching her for the first, obviously, little bit on that first set. And then you just thought, okay, she's playing well. Surely she's going to just take over and win the second set, win in straight sets. And Pavlyuchenkova, all credit to her, came back really strong with some really good returning and serving. And we know how important that is on grass. Serve and return, first strike tennis is paramount on grass. So Osaka kind of fell away a little bit. She was returning really well. Didn't manage to return as well as the match wore on and got a bit frustrated. She had a lot of chances. And then Pavlyuchenkova, in the end, was just too strong. Won the second and third set 6-4, 6-4. So, yeah, I think... Yeah, so that was a decent one. And then I think Alcaraz, you obviously watched. But, yeah, Sabalenka Raducanu was... Look, I mean, we watched the first set in the media centre and that was really close. Raducanu had a set point, at least one. I know Sabalenka took her set point in the 8th time of asking. But she was a break-up in both sets. So she lost 7-6, 6-4, 8-6 in the first set tiebreaker. But she was 4-2 up in the first set and then 4-1 up in the second set. And in the second set, I mean, I jotted down a few notes and maybe I'll ask her about it in the presser, but probably not now given she's lost. But I noted that in that second set when she went 4-1 up, I said elite movement in chasing down her drop shots, really effective use of backhand slice, closing the net well, and pressing really efficiently when the opportunity comes to step in and attack. Mm-hmm. And one of the biggest, I think, takeaways was, one, she was making a lot of first serves during a period, but her returning was like elite for a long period, and that's what really put her in the game. But the variety, she was just playing really good tennis, barely any short balls, super deep, penetrating. Sabalenka was struggling, she couldn't hit winners off it, but Sabalenka, the champion she was, came through really, really impressive. So interesting to hear what she says. What do you think of the Alcaraz match?
By the time I blinked the first time, the first set was over. I mean, that's how good Alcaraz started the match. And realistically, I was expecting, once that first set happened, I was expecting sort of a straight sets win. But Struff showed us that there's a reason why he's taken Alcaraz to 5 here before. Yeah. There's a reason why he's reached finals and played against Alcaraz in these finals. Played a great match against him in Madrid as well. You know, these moments he knows he can rely on his big serve. Yeah. And as long as he's hitting his spots, he will get some games quite easily under his belt. And then all it takes is one break, one good game where maybe his opponent, such as Alcaraz, misses a couple forehands or hits a double fault, and he's in the game. That's what happened in the second set. In the third and the fourth, there were opportunities for him to actually get ahead or sort of try and get some opportunities to get ahead. Carlos just showed us why he is... You wouldn't say he's not the number one in the world, but the best player in the world right now on
in
terms. Well, on grass specifically, but also in terms of his form.
100%.
You know, you asked him in the press conference. You know, do you think you're playing the best tennis of your career? Yeah. You're on the best winning streak of your career. Do you think you're playing the best tennis of your career? And he said yes. You would consider, although the ranking is 2 and Jannik Sinner is 1. Yeah. Currently, in terms of form, he's in better form. Yeah. So that's what he showed exactly during that match. A few very sort of tense volleys that 99% of the tour would have missed into the net or missed out wide. He drops them in the perfect spot. That sort of saved him a lot. And he was very much joyful as anyone can be once he got that match over the line. I think he was happy not for it to go to a 5th. Can imagine. Especially after his first round match going to a 5th, and his second round was a 3-setter, but this one could have definitely gone to a 5th. So he's definitely happy to save some energy there. Talk to me about your thoughts on other players that have played today. So obviously we've had the Nico Jarry and João Fonseca match. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, that was an interesting one because obviously we were kind of keeping a close eye on it. We didn't get to see much or any of it really, but we saw a little bit, I guess, on the screen. I watched a little bit of it and it was a really interesting match. Nico Jarry, we know, is really dangerous on grass just because of what his skill set is. Big serve, big booming ground strokes. He loves the grass. He talked to me at qualifying about the fact that Wimbledon is his favourite tournament. His granddad used to bring him
qualifying 2024.
Oh, no, 2025.
Yes, 2025.
Yeah.
Sorry, yes.
Yeah, 2025. So yeah, he's dropped that far down the rankings. So That's what was really impressive. I think you actually asked. Yes, I will get to that in a second. You asked
I had a brain fart. It's, But 20 past 10 p.m. So and we have a Sabalenka interview in 10 minutes. So
I'll shoot to you in a second about the Jarry interview, and then I'll talk about Fonseca. But yeah, I mean, look, Jarry is dangerous. He's playing Cam Norrie next, who in his presser said that he's going to have to step up a level against Jarry because he's a really tough opponent, and he knows that he's got a really good skill set for the grass. And before I jump into Jarry quickly, we don't have much time, but the most ridiculous question today was in the Norrie press, and Liam wasn't in it, so I had to tell him and fill him in.
But I saw it online as well.
Someone asked him from, I don't know what outlet, but they essentially said to Norrie, look, we want to know who's dating Emma Raducanu. We want to find out.
Are you dating her?
Are you dating her? And Cam Norrie was like, at first he said, sorry, what did you ask? And the reporter said, he repeated it, and Cam said, no, I'm not. Maybe you should ask her. Now, given that Raducanu just lost, I want to see if one, he gets chosen, which I don't think he's going to get chosen by the mediator, but if he does, if he is to ask that question after she's lost, that would be the most outrageous question of the day, and I'll have to change my answer tomorrow or whenever, tomorrow, and mention that. But that was just ridiculous. Just don't know where he got that from. That was so bizarre. Yeah, let's get back onto tennis. What did Jarry say to you?
Sorry, I thought, is this not a tennis gossip? Romance podcast?
Exactly.
I'm going to start talking about, Tsitsipas and Badosa in a second. That question was absolutely ridiculous. But I spoke to Nico Jarry after his win, and brain farts aside, I did ask him about how he thought of his, this is his going into the fourth round here at Wimbledon, the best ever performance he's done so far at Wimbledon. How did he feel about doing it for qualifying? He said he didn't really, see much of a difference in that sense. He didn't really think about that too much. He was just very happy with his performance and the way he's been playing. He in some other questions, he was talking about, he's happy, especially because the last year has been very, very tough for him. So he's happy to have gotten to where he is now. And then I asked him if he remembers his last match against Cam Norrie, because he's playing against Cam Norrie in the fourth round. And he said, yes, qualifying of Rome 2019, he missed an easy match point volley. But he said, obviously, since then, both of them have incredibly improved their games, so it's going to be a very different match. And you interviewed Fonseca. How was that?
Really good. He's so down to earth, very mature for his age. Asked him about the takeaways he can take from it, from Wimbledon as a whole, and he spoke quite eloquently on how it's different to play on grass. What does he need to do, or what does he need to do going forward on grass in terms of utilising his slice more, coming forward, transitioning better to the net, and just being generally more offensive, and realising that serve's super important, serve return is super important on this surface. So yeah, he was really good. I was very impressed with the way that he spoke. Also, I don't know if you guys listening will care too much, but essentially I think he's going to go back to Brazil after Wimbledon, and he's going to have a break. And it could be a relatively long break, because he said when he goes back to Brazil, he likes to stay there for at least 4 weeks.
Okay.
So, because it's of the time difference and the travel. So, I'm not sure what that means for the Masters tournaments coming up.
At the end of the day,
but yeah.
At the end of the day, he'll be going into the same time zone that these Masters are being played in.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's really going to be losing out in that sense. In terms of he probably will end up staying there 2-3 weeks. I don't imagine him missing any Masters events, especially because this is the year for him to build his ranking and get his seeding positions in the future slams.
Yeah. Essentially, I think the National Bank Open is not. I don't think you lose out. There's a rule around it that if you don't lose out on money, or I don't think it necessarily
on the bonus pool.
On the bonus pool, yeah. Okay. So like Sinner, for example, I think missed it last year, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. So yeah, sometimes the lineup's not too great for that. Has been previous years. Cincinnati's the big one.
So I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Because we're going to have to run to a press conference soon for Sabalenka.
Yes.
We've got some good matches tomorrow.
Yes.
You'll be here.
I will be here.
I'm going to shoot some matches at you. These are the ones that I think are the most interesting matches of the day. Okay. So I'm going to shoot them at you, and you let me know which one is the best one that you're looking out for tomorrow.
Okay. So give me my predicted winners quickly as well.
We've got Swiatek against Collins.
I'll go Swiatek in 3 sets.
Ben Shelton against Martin Fucsovics.
Yeah, I think Shelton should get through that pretty easily.
You've got an interesting one between youngsters. Flavio Cobolli against Jakub Mensik.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I'll go with Mensik given the skill set, but that'll be an exciting one. Good one.
You've got Marin Cilic against Jaume Munar.
I think Cilic, yeah.
Belinda Bencic against Cocciaretto.
Cocciaretto is playing really well, It's tough. I would say Bencic normally, but I don't know. It's tough to pick against Italian. That's a 50-50. I don't even know on that one, to be honest.
And then obviously we've got the Yannick Sinner, Pablo Martinez and Mimir Kuzmanovic against Novak Djokovic match. Yeah. But I think we know who you're going to be selecting in those.
Well, I interviewed Pedro Martinez to watch him at Budas. I think he can do it now. I mean, he's not really a grass court player, so he's had a really good run.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. And look, good luck to him. Hopefully he does something. The one actually that I'm most looking forward to, potentially on the two, you've already mentioned, I think Shrilton Collins is the biggest standout.
Yeah.
But there's Rebecca and Towson. And Towson is a really good young Dane player.
Might be a
really
tough
good.
one, yeah.
She's a powerful player. That'll be difficult. And also Kuchikova and Navarro. I think Navarro could win that.
Maybe. I've not really put too much thought into Navarro's.
We haven't talked to her yet. Maybe. Yeah. Well, I think tomorrow if she wins,
might be the opportunity.
We'll have to. I think if she wins or loses, we'll probably put her down, and talk to her. But she, she's dangerous on grass as she showed last year. Okay, I mean, apart from that,
I think guys, we've got a good lineup for the weekend.
Yeah.
We've got some more interviews to do, but it's going to be. Please, guys, let us know what your thoughts are. Obviously, on both the content that we publish in terms of the little videos of the interview clips that we do, but also the podcast. If you have any questions, any sort of suggestions or things you want to find out about players as well, in terms of actually questions that we would be able to ask, not a Cam Norrie type, are you dating Emma Raducanu question. It's always great to get your guys' opinion involved. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to ask that, you can. We just won't ask it. But if you want to put it in the comments. But yeah, I mean, any questions that you guys have, as Liam said, definitely do put it in there. But even not just that, but if there's any interesting facts that you guys know, put it in the comments and let us know as well. Sometimes it's great. You guys come with some great tidbits as well. But we're going to leave you and love you, and we'll see you tomorrow. It'll be myself and Ash H tomorrow on the podcast, or it potentially might just be me, actually, depending on the timing. And if so, get used to my voice. Have a great evening, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and of course comment what you thought of the day's play, and we'll see you tomorrow. Liam will be back on Monday, and he'll be here until the end of the tournament.
I'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys as always for listening and supporting the channel.
Thanks, guys.